Hello and welcome back to GMT's At Any Cost Metz 1870 air battle scenario to the 6 p.m. turn. Battle finishes at 9. One thing to note before we play, pointed out to me by the designer of the game actually that I had one of the victory point locations wrong, and originally I had one of the variable locations here on the Verdun road hex there. It's actually on this one here, which puts that hex from well in the French area of contact into the Prussians' area control. So just look at that then. So currently we would then have 1, 2, 3 Prussian control to 2 French at the moment. So the Prussians are actually winning. However, the fact that it's over there means that this flank now becomes much more important than it was before. So there may be some rethinks of how we cover over there. But anyway, we've got the chits set as usual. So let's get on and see what's going to come up for us. Oh, and straight out of the box we have the French Third Corps. So that's the one that's been bedecked with delays with the Malaise chit, but it's come out first now. So right, let's see what we're going to do with them. So we have the HQ here, currently in aggressive mode when it sent these guys out to attack. Now it could stay like that, and these units could also join in the attack, although these units are now out of the command. Also this cavalry is out of command, and even this unit is out of command. So there's a bit of a decision to be made there. What we can do is use the HQ as is, send these units forward, and then bring the HQ forward and within range on the defensive side maybe of that unit. Or do we want to do another turn of consolidation, bring everybody in? This guy will not be in command at all. It will only add this guy and this guy to flip them over, which is a 3 command radius. So yeah, I think maybe keep him on aggressive mode. I think. Yeah, so we'll add a command the units that are outside that range. Other interesting thing I've noticed actually with the command ranges is that usually with the Prussians, if they're on the defensive side, their range is narrower, and on the aggressive side, it's wider. And the French are the reverse, sorry. So aggressive, they're very narrow, but on defensive, they're wider. It seems to be fairly consistent. Just an interesting difference between them. Okay, so I'll get on and fire and move these guys, and then we'll see where we've got to. Okay, so I'm going to change my mind actually. Put it into defensive mode. The reason is that even though these guys could move, they wouldn't actually be able to reach anywhere useful, certainly infantry, in the move, so there was no point in using them to engage, which meant that these units could continue to be in command. Only left us with these units here to worry about. So yeah, there was some firing from the artillery and mitrailleurs here, which did cause a shaken marker down here, but that was it. And so, looking at the outer command, let's see what happens. Oops. So we have a cautious marker here. So cautious will give us a half fire. May not engage, but it's already engaged. So half fire and a half move. So it's whether we want to pull this guy back. I don't suppose we do actually. I think we'll just fire. I think so. Half fire. That's one factor going up to 2. And let's see what that does. No effect with a 22. We have a low ammo marker for it. And the half move, well, yeah, I think he'll just remain there. I should have done the rally action, I missed that out. Shaken marker will come off, and I think that's about it. Oh yeah, well, we'll do the rest of the outer command. So the unit in front, cavalry, a cautious. Now a cautious, interesting enough, for a cavalry unit does include a charge. Then you get half movement. That's within 3, so there could be a charge here. Seeing as sorry, you're out of camera here. There we go. Let's move across to the cavalry side. So this unit here, sorry, was out of command. It's got a cautious marker on it. Can charge with half movement, and could look to do something about these guns. We can survive the fire from them. It might be useful. I think we might try that, as we've got the victory marker now in the right place, which is just behind on the road, just here. Then might be worth trying to do something over here. So yeah, let's see how that goes. 1, 2, I think 3. Keeps a line of sight for that artillery unit here. So there's a fire from here, which is 3 factors going up to 4.5. So it's on the 4 chart. Plus 1 for the Prussian artillery is a 5 chart. And we get a 10. So has no effect. So just thinking about it, we do need to do the TCR check for the charge. Let's just do that quickly. A 2, that's fine. Yes, it can charge. So yeah, it should have that marker on. Okay, so we now resolve that, I think. So we have a unit factor of 4 against 1.5, because it's halved on assault combat. So that's a plus 2 difference. 2.5, so it's plus 2, and plus 1 because it's charging and it's a light cavalry, so it's on the plus 3 chart. So the plus 3, and we can't see that there's anything else to affect other than the TCR, so it comes down to a plus 2. So let's roll on the +2 and see what happens. Ooh, a 9. Very well done, that cavalry unit. Now 9. It's really the best result you can get at that, because after on the 10 you get the tough fight result, which can lead to some strange things happening. We had a D2 star, so it certainly flips for the star, and then has to retreat or have a morale marker to 1 level. So I think certainly retreat there. I think, and yeah, the cavalry must move into that hex, gets a shaken marker, and can move a second hex. So I think possibly back again, I think. So again, we'd like to keep the fire lanes open there. So yeah, that's a good move for an out of command unit. Let's look at the last one. And here we have a manoeuvre. So with a manoeuvre there's full movement but nothing else. So possibly worth working around this flank. I know we go further out of command, but maybe into this village here, I think. Starts to look a threat over here. Bit of a target here now, sitting there with the cavalry unit, but oh well. It kind of did its job. That artillery unit was very annoying, and did have 9 TCR on it as well. So that's been bashed down as well. Okay, so yeah, let's look at the other chit to go. Oh, I'd actually forgotten one more of the out of command pieces. So very lonely core artillery unit way back here, which has only moved, I think it's 2 hexes all game. So let's see what it has. Oh, it's got a frozen. It means it still doesn't move. Great. Nothing lost there then. So what have we got for the next chit? We have the French Imperial Guard. So that's well, 2 frontline French corps there out early before any of the event chits, particularly the Malaise chit. So recapping, we have the Imperial Guard down here, just south of the road, facing off the heights here, which has just had quite a few reinforcements. So I suppose there's any particular reason not to be defensive here. Might be an idea for this infantry unit to dig, I think, here. It'll give us a hasty works marker, which will be very useful. As far as fire combat goes, certainly we can let loose in these hexes. Also there's the horse artillery here, which could fire over the heads obscured. So we still have this unit out of command. Let's just reset the out of command cap. And the cavalry unit up on the crossroads as well, which has moved quite a way actually from the starting position, way up off camera here. And yeah, okay, so we'll do the fire combat and see what happens. Okay, so we've moved and fired. No great effect on the fire, I'm afraid. We've moved the horse artillery into here to bolster this hex. We've got this situation here where we'd like to put the Imperial Guard in this hex, but of course if we withdraw we'll lose the marker, and we can't enter the hex with the unit because it would be overstacked with 2 fresh infantry units. So it's a little strange. So I'm going to try and have to do this shuffle with the artillery helping out. Got the cavalry consolidated to the top of the hill. Our out of command unit up here didn't move, and we rolled to get a hasty works here on an 8 and rolled a 9, so that didn't work. So it kept that unit unused for the entire activation, and it didn't do anything. So great. Let's move on. And we get our Bazaines Malaise chit come in. Well, that means the French won't need to spend any event chits stopping it. Now, where will the Prussians place it? So we still have 2nd and 6th Corps and 4th Corps not activated, plus the cavalry. I think probably keeping the 6th Corps out would be a good idea. Yeah, I think keep that another turn away would be great. And yeah, let's leave it at that, I think. Okay, so, well, one thing I did forget is this stack here. I just run the out of command for that unit, and I forgot to have a look at this one, which is frozen. We got a half move out of that, which is 1 hex, and yeah, the cavalry didn't move. The other 3rd Corps units up here, to be honest, I can't be bothered to pull the chits because there's 4 turns left in the game, and they're not going to get anywhere near halfway near the battlefield, so really there's no point in worrying about them. Okay, so we put the Malaise chit on the 4th Corps, which well, it's irritating, certainly irritating. Let's see what else we've got here. We have a cloud of skirmishers for the French. Can't get the focus. Oh, there you go. It's so that's you can use it as a special fire combat where there can be just a TCR test for a firing unit to add a morale step. I think the French will use that. Certainly something to be said for working in either of these hexes to bring their morale down just a little bit. Or possibly over in Mars-la-Tour here. Yeah, so we need a French unit enrolled against its TCR. Best units to use, of course, would be the Imperial Guard here. Would be nice to set something. Yes, I think we'll attempt to affect this infantry unit with the cloud of skirmishers. There's no terrain effects on this. It's just the TCR. Rolled a 9. That's no effect. So yeah, that did nothing for us. For the French anyway. Next jet. It's the French 2nd Corps. So, well, we've got a decision ready on most of the French corps here now, so this is the third one to go. Just around here, kind of reforming. I have an idea that it may be worth trying to bring them round here, help out 6th Corps. Also allows us to withdraw this unit. However, I'm a bit nervous of just leaving the artillery there, so it may be worth just keeping it there. If it's out of command, it's out of command. It's there for defence. So yeah, I think we can move the unit across on the flank. I think it's the only one that's going to be able to reach that area, so why not? And if it gets around the woods here, it's decent flank protection at least. Yeah, we'll go with that. That would be a defensive activation, and I'll do all that movement now. Okay, so we've moved the corps across here. We did a fire here with the infantry and mitrailleurs and failed to hit and went low ammo. We've used one of the 3 rally points to remove the low ammo from the infantry. Can't do it from the mitrailleurs, it's part of the artillery and therefore has to be stacked with the HQ. We have moved everything across. We attempted to rallies from the broken box, and we did get one back, which we've put here adjacent to the HQ. All well and good. Yeah, and the unit here stayed here, did fire, reasonable result, but not beating the 8 morale on the shot, and that really is 2nd Corps. The March of the Corps again, still no major events except for the Malays. So that's the Prussian 3rd. Our guys who've been doing most of the fighting here really in the game. So 1 brigade here and 1 brigade here. We'll have to let loose with the artillery again. Not sure we're going to push anywhere with that division. We don't need to go anywhere, and we could do with some increased some rally capability, certainly. So yeah, we'll be on the defensive there. I'll get the firing and moving done. Right, completed that. So our artillery tore into the Arville village again. It broke the artillery, and the infantry had to retreat. First 1 hex, which we put here, and then the second shot put him in 2 hexes back to the HQ. So yeah, that's cleared the village. We are in defensive mode, so there's cannot actually get into the village. We've moved the infantry back up. It's battle worn, however it's still in better shape than what it's facing now from the 2nd and 6th Corps, so why not? Over here we laced a lot of fire into these 2 hexes, bullied this one, and certainly disrupted the infantry there. Artillery stood quite well though, and yeah, that's about it really. All completed on 3rd Corps. Quite happy with them. And let's be honest, they don't really need to get into Vionville. We've already got the 3-to-1 advantage, but it would be nice, maybe next term, or possibly even the 10th Corps Brigade nearby here may run in. They're out of command, but you never know what we'll get on that result. Okay, we have right, we're on 9th Corps. Okay, still we're getting the corps ahead of most of the events jets. So this corps is just here, mostly battle worn. We've only got a fresh infantry unit here. Did have the idea that either we would move this this division across the stream. Oh, the other one is maybe to move this division across that stream. Well, I think that might be an idea, really, just to yeah, just to give the French something to think about. So yeah, well, let's look at those possibilities, and I'll get back to you. Okay, we completed that. I think why not? Let's get them out of the ravine and provide a distraction. I brought the artillery unit up here so it can start laying into the Imperial Guard from there. And yeah, I think possibly what I might do is just maybe dig this guy in. I think provide hasty works for the artillery. Yeah, that might be an idea for 8th Corps, but let's see. The unit activations keep coming, and that's 6th Cavalry Division, which is our little cavalry division here hiding, with the exception of its horse artillery unit. And yeah, I think we'll just fire the horse artillery unit off, and yeah, let the cavalry just have a bit more of a rest. So we'll do that. And we'll fire to here. We've got 3 +1 for Prussian artillery and +1 for plunging. So we're on the 5 chart on that hex, and there's no hasty works, so it's the best target around. 32, I don't think it's going to do very much. We do get a morale test, but on a 2, that's not going to bother the Imperial Guard. And that's the 6th Cavalry Division. Okay, and yet another unit activation, French 6th Corps. So this gives them the opportunity to move back in to the village of Villeville. Just move this up to where we are. So, having retreated, we may be able to get back in there. Possibly putting yeah, a couple of infantry units in. They are battle worn, so they can fit. And we do have a few to choose from here. Yeah. So I'll get that all sorted and see what it looks like at the end. Okay, so we did some firing with the infantry. The problem is it's a very low chart and up against pretty high morale, and so there isn't really any effect. What we've done is we've put a battle worn and our last full strength unit, even though it's a small one, into the village, brought him down from here and replaced him with a battle worn unit. So there's now 2 infantry units in there. It's about as tough as we can make it. And we've withdrawn the artillery from here. It's disrupted, so it's worth 0. And so what we're looking for is the 2nd Corps can come and take over this hasty works as it comes through, and free up that unit as well. So 6th Corps is literally looking at south facing almost now, and 2nd will come through. 6th Corps and 2nd Corps are both badly beaten up. 6 call is a slightly better call on value, but there's no reason not to use it now, or attempt to use it, just to shore up the village position. And yeah, we couldn't do any rallying because we had to be aggressive to enter the village next to the Prussian unit. That's really why the Prussian unit got moved up there, to force that. Okay, so that's 6th call. So we're going to have a big spate of event shits at the end of the round, I think. And yet another 8th Prussian call. So that's the 3 units here. We'd like to get the artillery into position here. So I think maybe pulling back the infantry, or maybe getting this artillery unit to move up on the hill with the horse artillery may be the move, I think. So I'll sort that out. Oh, you're not actually focused in on that, so just run through that again. So the crimson units here. I think we'll move the infantry unit across and put the artillery in, so these 2 artillery units team up with each other. I think that's probably a good thing to do. Actually, no, sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, get artillery unit up on the hill here. Leave that infantry unit there to bolster the defence. Stick a hasty works there, I think. So that's what we do with 8th Corps. Okay, that's completed, and yeah, we managed to get a hasty works marker here, all on good. So we've got a fire base to work from. So let's pick up the next jet. Will it be an event jet? No, it won't. It is the Prussian Guard. So far we've only had 2 event jets, a cloud of skirmishers and the Bazaines Malays. All the others, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 chits have been the unit activations. So the Guard are over here. They're out of command, and however they're in a reasonably critical place now. So let's place markers on them. Do them one by one. So we'll check with the artillery first. We have a frozen, so it does nothing in the aftermath of that charge. And with the cavalry unit, we have a manoeuvre, so it may move. However, it's not going to be able to engage. It would have been nice to maybe do a charge back, but I think maybe worth covering the horse artillery here. Well, we do have an artillery shot, but it's not an effective range. Maybe worth just teaming those units up, I think. So that's the Prussian Guard. And on it goes. 3rd Cavalry Division for the French. And that's just up here, just coming down to what's developing into an interesting situation. It may be worth these guys being the real flank here, as they don't have to worry about not being out of command. If we pull the 3rd Corps in, 1st Corps here, 3rd Corps out there. Mind you, that's a faster unit and it is closer. Oh. Let's bring them down anyway. There's a horse artillery unit to help as well. So yeah, I think we'll bring them straight down here. Maybe we'll take 1st Cavalry Division that way. Okay, I'll get that done. And there we go. So horse artillery at the front here, provide some fire, and the cavalry over here. I think they'll probably peel off around here once 1st Cavalry Division's off on its ride and see how we go. So, next chip. Right, well, it's an event chit, but it's for another activation. It's the Prussian General Staff chit. So let's see who we want to activate on the Prussian side. I'm just zooming out for a second here. We can lay down some fire here with the Buddenbrocks division here. We could maybe get some extra firing from these horse artillery units here. What I was hoping to use that chip for was actually to activate this brigade. Yeah. Have to think about this one, I think. Okay, what I've decided is that we'll do this division here, I think. Just because we can try and keep these units away from Flavigny. You never know with a lucky roll or something like that. It's probably the best thing to do rather than trying to get into here at the moment. I think we've got time on that, but I'd rather secure this even more. So we will play the General Staff chip now, and yeah, we'll activate Stubbernagel's division, 3rd Corps. Okay, so we blew away the infantry unit here. That's broken. The horse artillery here is flipped and disrupted, so it's dealt with that hex. Nothing else happened here. So that's the Prussian General Staff chip. I think that was worth it. Yeah. And we have an event chip, amazingly enough. It's a beaten zone, so right, do we have any core left to do anything with that beaten zone? Not really. We've got the 1st Cavalry Division and that's it. So a beaten zone needs an infantry unit, I believe. Just checking. Yeah, infantry or mitrailleurs, and I think all of those have activated, so this chip might as well go on the French Offensive Spirit to get Bazane's chip next turn. We get a command initiative for the Germans, Prussians, sorry. It's a bit pointless. We'll keep it anyway. There's no point in putting into reinforcements because there aren't any left. We could use it to affect the posture here, although I don't think it's really relevant for the 1st Cavalry Division, but still. Other than that, we don't really have a use for it. And they're all coming out now, so the Prussian aggressive tactics. Sort of what the French have been waiting for. Would have been more useful earlier on in the term. Yeah. Let's look at that. Could have used the command initiative actually to try and stop that. I forgot about putting it on that chart, but there's only it's a reasonable chance of stopping it, but I didn't. So this happens. So we let's look at the possibilities here. So yeah. So infantry or cavalry unit. Not artillery, which is a shame. Possibly worth moving that chap, or maybe, oh I know, the infantry unit here I think, probably worth getting it moved out. Yes, we'll use it on the 38th Brigade here, move it up to this spot here, and get fire combat from these two hexes. So, the mitrailleurs there, it'll be good. So 4 and 8 on the 8 chart, firing up 1 for mitrailleurs, and yeah, let's see what the result is for that. Oh, it's a good hit as well on 89. That's a cohesion hit, so he will flip over immediately. We then have an artillery unit to fire as well, so that's 3 factors, 4 factors actually with the canister. Roll that. There's no effect. And then we have a unit here who is low ammo and shaken, so he's only 2, up 1 column but down 2, so he's on the 1 chart. Here's nothing significant there either. So then we can do an assault, which will be into that hex there. So let's run through the combat here. We have a 3 fighting a 4 as the lead unit, so that starts on the -1 column. There is, odds are, that's 3 odd, so that's actually 5 to 3, 3 to 5 actually. It should be a 1 to do, round down, so that should be 1 shift to the -2, and then we have a TCR rating, which cancels out with the Prussian infantry attacking, so let's just be on the -2 I think. Yes, just the -2. So let's roll that assault on the -2 going. He's a 4, it's not great. A 4 is an A2, but there's no star on it, so he can just retreat 2 hexes. I think he'll retreat to there and take him around. Yeah. So that was useful for 3rd Corps. That unit is not very happy now, so let's carry on with the chip picks. And 1st Cavalry Division on the French side, that's their last activation I believe. Well, there is 4th Corps, the Greens over here, but they're not actually going to move, so it's the last effective one. So it's this division here which I think we will want to sweep around and threaten this road here, and it's light cavalry, so it's fairly fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6, 7, 1, 2, 4, 5, and I think if we keep we could half move, half fire the horse artillery. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's halved and halved again, so that would be a C. It's probably not worth it, so I think we'll just move. 1, 2. I think we'll keep him in the town. In fact, I think we'll keep the HQ there as well. Still be in command here, but what we don't want to do is make him over on the HQ. Yeah, move that assault marker. Right. And here we get French 4th Corps. That definitely is the last one, but there's no activation. But the Malays chip there. The Fortunes of War chit. Okay, let's roll that. That's a 3, which I think is a D grade. Yes. So we're degrading inspirational leadership. That has no effect. Oh. Yes, it may be worth actually just going back to the 1st Cavalry Corps, that command initiative chit, which is useless other than on this activation. I mean, that's only a 3. I think we'll pull the cavalry division back there then. Cavalry brigade, sorry. Just looking at that. Ah, no, actually I was wrong. There is still one. It's the artillery reserve to come out. Not paying attention there. So that's our 2 artillery units here with the HQ. And this point. Okay, well that, because of the move of 2nd Corps, that unit can't fire without moving. It's blocked off. But we can do a half move, half fire. So I think it's probably worth moving him. You can only do a half fire, then half move. You can't move and then fire. It has to be fire first. So that unit will move, and so will that. It's not really affecting anything at all. Might be worth moving this along here, try and help over here. Yeah, so I think we'll move this artillery unit maybe even into this hex actually, and get him at the front in the hasty works marker. Move the artillery here, 1, 2, and that we already have is here. There's nowhere else for him to go right now, and maybe getting him into that hex, which is suffering rather a lot, and then place the HQ here, I think. So we're covering both of the artillery units. That's the artillery reserve. 10th Prussian Corps. Okay. So we didn't use. I want to zoom in on this one. We didn't use the Prussian General Staff to move these guys. So they are out of command. The HQ is there. And there's an artillery unit under here as well, which is also out of command. So I need to put a few markers down. I'll be honest, I'm a little sanguine about what's going on around Vionville for the Prussians. It might be worth pulling the tactical units back, as we just had a real problem here in Mars-le-Tour from that Prussian aggressive tactics chit. So anyway, let's see what we do. I think we'll bring the artillery unit in, so we've got 2 artillery units there in the town activating. We'll fire this guy off and move this guy, and then yeah, rally here, and we'll try and get the HQ across, I think. Yeah, so firing first. Okay, so we moved and fired. We caused our usual horrendous casualties up here from the Prussian artillery, disrupted the artillery and the infantry unit there. Moved the core artillery up, HQ across here to get these guys in command. We actually charged this cavalry. Came out as our first of the tough fights. We rolled a 10, and they both passed their TCRs, so it meant they caused a casualty hit on both sides. So yeah, interesting little cavalry battle there. First one we've had since actually the start of the game. But as I say, it's probably advantage of the French here, as that unit is fairly innocuous now as a C rating. Let's just check the outer commands. So we have a frozen, not so bad. Next turn, frozen again, and then to the artillery unit has a manoeuvre, so that can move, and we will move it further back across. We'll move it to here. In the rally phase, we will move that shaker marker from the infantry unit here, and yeah, that's the tentacle. So too much else to go. We have a battlefield conditions for the Prussians, so I think we'll possibly use that. We'll see how we go. I think the 5th Cavalry Division is still to fight, so I'll work on that. And here's another chit, which is a beaten zone. I think on the offensive spirit chart, I think. And Prussian chit, we have a panic test. Well, it might be useful. Keep it with the battlefield conditions. And we have Krupp's guns. So this may give us a combination of play here. That's possibly a good idea for the guns to fire up here. Maybe deal some more damage up here, I think. Certainly as an emergency, this is the critical area for the Prussians now, so yes, I think we may fire this artillery unit with the Krupp's guns immediately, and we'll use the battlefield conditions. Now, the battlefield conditions gives the fire combat 2 shifts, so yeah, we'll certainly do that, and maybe the panic test to follow if we get some breaks. But let's see how we go. So 7, and we're up 1, the 8 to 9 chart for the fire combat. Oh, decent hit there. That's a 106. So that is a cohesion hit. So don't think it's, oh sorry, we're up two columns, aren't we? So that is 7, 8, 9, actually on the 12 to 13 because of the battlefield conditions. So that is actually, oh well, first one we've had of these 2 cohesion hits. So that means both the mitrailleurs and the artillery unit. So put each of the units on the brink. no morale test though, and I don't think the panic test, does that apply? Well, if it takes a casualty hit, yeah, that applies. Right, so we can actually take the morale test marker and put it anywhere in or adjacent. So which hex shall we put it in? Which is something to be said for putting it exactly on the hex, so causing a morale test +2 for those units, and we'll do that. So we'll roll the morale test, which is a 3, +2 is a 5, and so on a 5 here, that's an additional morale level there and there, so they both get a broken roll. So the infantry 5 equals, and if we equals, must retreat 2 hexes. So certainly I think we can actually fit in the headquarters hex, so we'll have to go back into the ravine, and then the artillery unit fails abysmally, so that comes straight off. So we've got a combination of 3 chits here that yeah, with the battlefield conditions, crops guns with battlefield conditions modifier, and then panic test has that lovely strong hex there that was looking very menacing to Mars Latour as being savagely dealt with. Okay, so that's a bit of an object lesson for me and the power of the adventures, even the minor ones. We've got 5th Cavalry Division. I mean, now I think that's the last activation. So I think they can do a little bit more damage, I think, here. We've got the infantry units. I'm not sure that letting that cavalry unit do anything is a lot of point, but certainly we'll fire off the artillery. Okay, so we completed that. Quite a lot of movement here, so we fired off the artillery here. No effect on this one. Here we did get a disrupt though. Nice hit there. The cavalry we've swung around here with the HQ so that you can get involved in this battle on the side. I think that's where it really needs to be. And yeah, that's 5th Cavalry Division. So just a couple of chits to go, I think. Yeah. So a beaten zone for the French, which pretty useless now, I think. And so we'll put him on the chart for Bizane's chit next turn. And we have a battlefield conditions again. Rather useless, but there's no other use for it now. And yeah, that's all the chits. So just looking at the situation here. So we have some big activity here on the right left flank of the Prussians here, mainly due to the fact that I've moved the victory point marker. Only a shaming reason. We've lost. We've got a battle-worn artillery unit here. We had a cavalry battle here, which was damaging but inconclusive. 10th Corps has shifted its emphasis across here, as has the 5th Cavalry Division. And 3rd Corps has had a beating from the Prussian cannons, like a lot of the other French corps. Over here, we've had a vacation and then a reoccupation by the French of the village here, and across here Consolidation really either side, nothing much happening at all, with some French breaks happening, and we've got a little bit of an end run way over here with the ninth corps speculatively moving across the ravine. I don't think it's going to be able to do very much at all because it's difficult terrain anyway, yeah. And our fourth corps got stuck in the quagmire of the French command again. So all in all, a reasonably eventful turn. Just looking at the pile here, I've just moved the markers immediately into that box because I sometimes forget to do it, and yeah, there wasn't any reason to rally anything out of that box that got put in this turn. And looking at the charts, and we have a full track for the offensive spirit, so we get now to roll a 1 to 6 to get Marshal Bazain's chip for next turn. And we roll a 10, so it doesn't. But I don't think we were doing a huge amount with those chits anyway. So that's the 6 PM turn. We're into 7 PM. 3 turns to go now, and yeah, it's certainly a lot of fighting going on. Not a lot of change in situation though, really. And well, thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll see what happens at 7 PM, and see you then.